Hello and welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the 2 Cents Podcast, where today we have a little bit of discussing to do on two things, I think. We're going to cover lottery, okay, and what was going on with the Mega Millions here for me personally. And then, if we have time, I want to cover a little bit of a little argument I got into at work. But first off, okay, let's go ahead and cover the important one. The Mega Millions, right? We had to go up to $970 million. And, you know, when the number gets that high, you kind of think, maybe I should throw a couple bucks that way, right? Well, we did at work. And we decided to go ahead and have a lottery pool, which I gladly joined in. The whole thing with my thought on the lottery is if you don't have multiple numbers, you definitely don't stand a chance. Okay, getting a single bar on a ticket, yeah, you're basically just going to throw your money away. I mean, the odds of you doing that are so slim. But here's my thinking when the lottery gets high, and if you do it with a group, okay? One, you have more numbers. Obviously, you have more chances, right? Your chances are still very, very slim. But you got chances. And number two, and here's the more important thing, is someone's going to win. Okay? The higher it goes, the more tickets that are being bought, the more numbers that are going to be out there. Someone is going to win. And mentally, for me, that says that there's a better chance of you winning because you have this whole room of people. Someone's going to win versus a whole room of people that no one's going to win. So that's kind of how my mind works on it. Does it really change your odds? Absolutely not. But you definitely feel like you have a better chance. And it's also more worth your money because you'd be getting a much larger return on these bigger ones. Like right now, the Mega Millions is only at 20 million. Who wants to put money down on 20 million? Okay? No one. But at the same time, no one's really playing right now. So if you were to hit it, you wouldn't be splitting it with anyone. But then when it comes to the lottery pool, like a couple people had the mentality of, well, I want to go get my own ticket and I want to try and win by myself. I don't really want to split it in a pool. I can understand that. But at the same time, if you're in a lottery pool with like 30 people and say you do the cash out method at $500,000, I think it was around $500,000 if you were to do the cash out, you are still getting a crap ton of money per person. I think it's just shy of like 20 million. Maybe like around the 15 million mark per person. That is a crap ton of money per person. A lot of people would be able to retire with that amount of money. I mean, it's huge. That'd be awesome. But I can also understand some people are a little bit greedy like that and just want to go and take the half for themselves. Like, I think it was just one person up in Michigan that ended up winning. It wasn't like a lottery pool or anything. So, good for them. That's going to be life-changing. And I hope that they get, like, an accountant hired that's going to try and help control them on what they're spending and how they should, like, smartly invest things. Because I think that you can do a lot of damage with investments, especially for your future generations. So, I'm very, very happy for what happened there. But now I kind of want to cover what I would have done. And, like, what I would have done. Like, I've always spent a lot of time thinking, what would I do with the lottery if I was to win it? How would I best do this so that way I benefited and then the people around me would benefit as well? So here is my breakdown of what I would do. Okay. Number one, you got to pay off debts, right? Like I got credit card debt and I got my house debt. And then of course I have an Amazon card. So there's of course Amazon debt. If you have an Amazon card, you have Amazon debt. Okay. Just going to call it as it is. We spend so much money on Amazon with that 10% like back on purchases or 5%. It's hard to resist that one. It wouldn't take much for me to pay mine off, though. But with me moving into the house, a lot of stuff had to go onto the credit card, so that way I was able to try and fix up all these different fine things without killing my savings. So I would definitely have a lot of debts to pay off. But it doesn't stop there, okay? It also goes on to trying to pay off everything of my parents' debt, anything that's my sister's debt, anything that my grandparents have in debt. Like I'd be trying to pay off as much in family debt as I could. Okay? I find that to be a very, very big priority because the sooner that people are out of debt, the sooner that they can start focusing on other things in their life and try and improve their quality of life. Debt is seriously such a closet concern that you kind of forget about it until that closet opens back up. And then you're just kind of like, oh, right, yeah, you're a part of my day-to-day life. But as soon as that closet door closes and you don't have to worry about it, your life suddenly becomes a little bit better. So I would definitely be trying to do that immediately. And not only that, but I would also probably throw like $5,000, maybe $10,000 towards different people who truly have like made an impact on my life as like a thank you for what you have done for me. Like if we go back to like the Simply Awesome podcast days with Ben Hunter, like Benjamin, and then you go into like the Boredom server where he's there too, and then we also have like Dreams. Like I would definitely be throwing money their way, because they have made such an impact, and like my life definitely wouldn't be the same without them. And I'd like for them, I think it would go above even 10,000. It'd be whatever I feel like they needed help with. Like Daniel right now, because of how he is in the military, he doesn't own a house. He doesn't own anything like that. He's always on the move, going from place to place with wherever they station him. So I don't really know how I would be able to financially help him, but I would try to figure out something for him. And then Ben owns a house, so I would try and help him get those debts paid off. And I'd try and get him a proper car. The man has the worst luck with cars. And Ben, I imagine you're probably listening, but you have the worst luck with cars. Let's just call it as it is. You seriously have zero luck with a decent car. I would be throwing $40,000 into the best van for that family, just so that way you could try and have some ease of mind of not having a crappy car. Because the amount of issues between trucks that he's had and vans that he's had, and then I can't remember what the other one was. He had a truck, he had a van, and he had something else. So it was like kind of like a crossover. And just all of them gave him trouble. But I would try and get him something that would actually be able to work for the family again, where they could actually have that relief off their mind. But then, let's go back to me. Okay, I'm the one who won, right? Let's take care of myself now a little bit. I'm definitely going to try and get what I would consider my dream house, air quotes. And like my dream house isn't that much. I'm not gonna lie. It's basically a 2, maybe 3-story house with a basement that I would be able to deck out myself, like maybe theater on the side. And then on the back side, it would be like a pool. I would definitely want to move away from Indiana, go down to Florida. Okay, that's basically what I would want to do. Maybe the Carolinas or something like that. But I've always wanted to have private, clean, indoor pool, if possible. That's really expensive to maintain, so it would be dependent on how long-term funds would be. But that would be something that I would have as a goal. And then just overall, I would want a house decent enough for a 4-person family. Like maybe 5, but mainly 4. I would mainly want to stick to 4. It's the current house that I'm in right now is probably comfortable for 3, but that's about it. There's not much room beyond that. And I would definitely want to go to something that had a basement. I just always like basements if you can do them right. There's definitely a lot of basements that I've been in that have been done wrong, very, very wrong that it feels like a basement. Then I've been in basements that feel like their own tie-in into the house. And that's what I would be wanting to create, is something that tied into the rest of the house. It didn't feel separate. And it was just nice, easy. You go down there, it's chill, and you can just kind of escape from the world. Which is very much what my house is now. Like anyone who comes over always says it's very, very nice and peaceful. It's quiet. They can just kind of sit down, and it's a very relaxful place. That's one thing I love about what I've established with what I had, is I've been able to accomplish a tranquil place for calm. But that is what I would want to try and do, is just try and get enough house and then throw in the pool. Okay, that's going to be the little extra that I want to throw in there. I want to throw in that stupid pool. I would use it. A lot of people are like, well, when you really use it, I would absolutely use an indoor one. But I have a personal thing about outdoor pools and them being dirty, and I always feel so uncomfortable in a dirty pool. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's like a couple of leaves on the bottom, I'm instantly uncomfortable. It's like a germophobia type of thing. I just don't feel right with it. Swimming in open water, not a thing for me. I do not like it. I hate it. It's stupid. Whoever wants to do that, I call insane. If you're wanting to surf on it, I get it. If you're wanting to do like a ski-bee type thing, I get it. But if you're wanting to swim in open water, why the hell do you want to do that? Okay, because anyone who puts their head underneath the water comes back with an instant ear infection. And if they start squirting any water into their mouth, out of their mouth, like to be like all playful and anything like that, that is so many freaking germs. Okay, do you realize that fish poop in that freaking water? Goose poop in that water. Anything poops in the water. It is so nasty and disgusting. I don't understand why anyone likes open water. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's the ocean. It doesn't matter if it is in a cave. It doesn't matter if it is your local lake. Okay, I don't care. Open water is stupid. Open water is disgusting. I hate it with a goddamn passion. And there we go. I am done. That's my rant. I like clean pool where I can control the water. It's nice and clean with chlorine. And if I was to toss a fish in it, it would die. Okay? Because it's so clean and doesn't want ruined. That is how I feel about open water and it being an absolute disgusting pit that shouldn't exist. Scratch that. It should exist. But it shouldn't be for swimming. Okay? We went from the topic of lottery down that road. But anyways, if my house was to have a pond and I was to fish in it, that would be fun. But I would not be swimming in it. Let's go ahead and continue on, though. Okay, we got the house established and why we wanted a pool. What about a car? Okay, I've jumped from different cars that I figured were dream cars, and I now have a new dream car as of like 2 years ago. And I think most people would probably see it coming. But back in the day, my dream car was originally a Lamborghini Sesto Elemento, a very futuristic looking car. It reminded me kind of like a Batmobile type thing. Very, very beautiful and sexy car. Absolutely love that thing. But my tone has now changed into the future, where my dream car that I would have to buy with the lottery would be a Tesla Model X. Or if there was to be a new model that released, I would be going for that one. Decking out all the bells and whistles, the better battery, everything about it would be better. And I would absolutely love this thing. Like, if you truly look and analyze the car and what it can do, sure, it has a lot of fun features, but the car is designed to be future-proof. It really is. Because, I mean, it has so many sensors around it. Like, if someone was to get into a car accident with you, you don't need to buy a third-party system to try and help yourself with insurance. All the cameras on there are recording it basically all times, so you have a built-in security system. So you will not be liable for most anything. If a car accident happens with a Model X, it's probably not because of the Model X, is what I've been seeing. Most of the accidents are happening third party. Then let's just go to the coup de grace of the whole thing. The console of itself. That huge TV screen that is right there in between the passenger and the pilot seat. It is so sexy. And it's so simply laid out. So easy to understand. There's nothing there that's too complicated for anyone to be able to learn immediately first day in that car. It is just a beautiful thing. The whole interior being so sleek, simple, modified. It's like you're going into your own personal spaceship, but it doesn't get off the ground. That is what I would love to drive in 24/7. Is something so simple and so smooth and elegant that there's no other car I would want to drive. And once it become available in this area, I would just head on do the autopilot. Because why not? That is something I think a lot of people see as a main goal of it, is to have a self-driving car. To me, self-driving is nice. I think it'd be a lot harder to get used to than some people probably think. Because you're putting a lot of trust into artificial intelligence, which I think is commendable. That's one word for it. You're definitely commendable for it. But I definitely wouldn't be jumping the gun to do that immediately. I would definitely still be holding onto that wheel for a good while. Just making sure that everything was fine. But the thing itself is just beautiful and gorgeous. And I would love to have one of those things. I've seen quite a few around here. And every single time I see them, I keep on going, that is a Tesla. That is unmistakable. It is a beautiful car, very, very safe. And they're becoming more and more affordable all the time. Plus, I'm interested to see what my expenses would be for having to have it charged. And then versus gas. Because I imagine it'd be cheaper because my commute to work is only 10 minutes each way. It's not that bad. One of the blessed things that I have about this location of the house. But let's go ahead and continue on past that. Okay, we got our dream house. We got our dream car. What else am I wanting to do with the money? Well, I wanted to. This would be a fun one. I don't know if I'd actually do it. If I was in the position of doing it, I probably wouldn't. But it's fun to think about in theory. I would want to open a McDonald's here in my hometown. Mostly because there isn't a McDonald's in my hometown. What do we have? We have 3 different pizza joints that are all not name brand at all, except for Pizza King. We have a Subway. And that's pretty much it. That's about it. We got some other mom and pop things, but for actual names, yeah, you might know Pizza King and you probably know Subway. And that's it. That is it. And I know a McDonald's would do good. And am I a big fan of McDonald's? No, I really am not. But McDonald's is such a neutral thing that people would instantly be able to flock there. Where if you were to do a restaurant like my favorite Wendy's, fight me, Wendy's would probably not do as good as McDonald's. I don't know why, but I think it comes down to the fries. We're just going to call it. I'm thinking it's the fries. I've gotten into quite a few debates about whose fries are better. And I always say the Wendy's fries are better because it has the skin on it. Okay, it's a little bit more natural. It's sea salt. It's healthier for you. Even though French fries in general aren't that healthy. But McDonald's fries, on the other hand, are just pure unhealthy sticks. Okay? Those things are just carbohydrate sticks that are absolutely delicious. You can never get enough of them. When was the last time that you had McDonald's French fries and you said, I'm good? Never. Never have those words left your mouth. You're lying. You are lying. It's okay. We can all be honest here. I'm not judging you. When you got that large fry last week, I didn't judge you. When you ate every last little bit of it. And then when you decided to take the container out and all the rest of the food and you were scrounging the bottom of the bag looking for those little extras that fell out, I wasn't judging you. I get it. We've all been there. Okay, we have. It's okay. This is a safe place to just say you don't get enough. There are never enough McDonald's French fries. Okay? So it's okay. There are never enough. But they're like McNuggets are absolutely amazing. They have the Big Mac. They have the McRib that comes by every once in a while. They just have a lot, and they have a lot of variety. And for the most part, they're keto friendly as well. So I'd be stopping in there and getting triple cheeseburgers without the bun and toppings all the time. I think McDonald's is probably the most neutral thing to own, and I think it'd probably be the most profitable. And of course, it would have the dual drive-thru. If there's a McDonald's left that has a single drive-thru, you're gonna be waiting in line a while, buddy. But yeah, I would definitely be wanting to open that up in my hometown, just because I think that it would do good, and yet no one wants to invest the money for some reason. I don't know why. I think that they should get on it. But until then, we're McDonald's-less. Truth be told, though, remember how I said Wendy's was my favorite? It's really Arby's. Arby's is definitely more of a favorite for me. What other restaurant has cheese sticks and potato cakes? Okay, let's just those things alone. Let's look past the roast beef and the curly fries. Most restaurants don't have cheese sticks that are that good. Or potato cakes that are that healthy when you're on a diet. I remember I would go to Arby's all the time for their potato cakes because it was a cheaper option on Weight Watchers. It's like a point. So it was like, it's just really good to me. But anyways, let's go ahead and continue on. Okay, we got the house, we got the car, we got our debts paid off. Now we got our own McDonald's. What else we doing, huh? What else we doing? Well, one thing I would want to do, but I don't think I'd be able to do, is develop a creator studio. Like, if you follow Casey Neistat, he tried to do one in New York, and I don't, like, his intentions are right, but I'm not sure if 316 really took off. Okay? I think it's called 316. And the idea is anybody who wanted to be a content creator could like book a different spot and they could go ahead and do content creation with a lot better stuff than they might be able to have on their own. Like right now, everything I have, I own. I do not rent any equipment. I have worked hard to try and get the equipment I have to be able to produce the quality content that I have. Do I have the skill for it? Probably not. But at least I have the tools ready for when I get to where I need to be. That's the important thing. But I would love to be able to create a creator studio because around here, there's just nothing like that. There's not a spot where you could go in, drop like $20 so that way you could rent different equipment for a day and be able to do like a proper photo shoot or like doing a podcast. Like I would love to have like different sets that you could go into and you could rent and you could be like, okay, I need to go to the gaming set today and I'm going to drop $35 for a 5-hour recording session. Just something quick and easy. It would be kind of cool if that was an option around here. Like I would definitely not make it for free. I would have to charge it so that way I would be able to pay staff to try and upkeep everything, keep everything sanitized, clean, keep all the things like paint looking fresh and everything. But I would love to do that. I just don't know how well it would work. Like, I'd have to go to one of the bigger towns around here to do that. But it's a cool idea and something that I wish I had access to. Because like, I've done the best I can with trying to create sets in, like, my office. But still, it's just still not exactly what I would want. Like the soundproofing in here, there's no soundproofing in here. That I just kind of have to work with what I have. But I make do with what I got. Like I'm happy with how it is. It's taken a lot of work to get here, but yeah, that's something that I would consider doing. Would be opening something like that. But it would be interesting because I don't know if it's something that's really been done a lot. And although YouTube has YouTube studios that's located in big cities like New York, Los Angeles, over in like France, they got one. Like in Great Britain, I think London has one. But like there's nothing around here. I mean, there might be one in Chicago, but I'm not entirely sure about that one. So I don't know. It's something that I would like to do. Whether it would take off or not, it'd probably fail. But it'd be kind of cool to have as an option. So, but I would love to do things like that. And then I'd like to give back to my hometown in a way. Like, I mean, there's not, like, the playground that we have isn't all that great. I'd love to improve that, and just depending on how much money I had, I would just try and throw money towards different little things while still trying to have like $5 million in savings when it's all said and done. And I think here's the biggest thing that would happen is I would not quit my work. And I think that might throw some people for a loop. They're like, you just won lottery and yet you're not going to quit work. When you get to a certain age and you work a lot, you kind of get into a mindset of work is life. Work keeps you distracted on your bad days, and work is just something that you do. And when you don't have work, you kind of tend to miss it. You do. It's something that I definitely wouldn't want to lose, especially with where I'm at and how I'm doing. It's something. It's just something that you need. And as a kid, I always had the thought of, no, I don't want to work the rest of my life. I wish I could retire now. And yeah, that's no longer the case. It used to be, but it's no longer the case. I remember those days. I remember those days where I would see Dad taking a nap when he got home from work, and I'm like, that's stupid. And look at me now. I take naps a lot. Yeah, just do. You change when you get older from being a kid. For the better and for the worse. I think mostly for the better, though. As I look at some kids, I go, wow, I was there once. How did anyone tolerate me? But I think it's always been because I've been slightly different. I've always had a little bit more of a mature side. I've always thought about things a little bit differently. In a good way, okay? I wasn't one of those special boys that's sniffing and eating glue over in the corner, okay? I wasn't one of those, okay? I'm one of those that's over here trying to figure out, like, more things about my future that I needed to worry about in that time. I'm the one who's trying to figure out how soon do I need to start working on my project before procrastination starts to hit and I start having to panic. I'm the one thinking, how am I going to bring myself to present first in class instead of last so that way I can get it out of the way? I was a different kid. I was really a different kid. But I was a good kid back in the day, I think. So, but I think that is going to cover it for this week's podcast. Luckily, I didn't actually hit the next one, so I'm going to actually cover the next topic in the next episode. And it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be a little bit controversial, probably. But I'm going to give a really, really good breakdown as to something that happened, a conversation I had, how it really upset me, and why I think that why this person is so wrong on what they're saying and why they need to change their view on people, because it's very, very hurtful. So we'll cover that one next week. But this week I wanted to cover the lottery. I wanted to cover what was going on, and now that I know I'm an official loser, I can go ahead and say that I am not going to do anything that I had previously listed in this episode. But that is basically what my plan would be, is get my dream house, get my dream car, and give back to the people who have mattered a lot to me. Those key 3 things. Try and help out people around me. Increase the happiness, positivity, get rid of the stress in everyone's lives. I feel like through a reduction in stress, more people can be happier, and spreading the happiness to other people instead of spreading the stress. That's how we get to a brighter tomorrow. That's just how I view it. But that is going to do it for this episode of the 2 Cents Podcast. Thank you guys. Thank you guys very much for listening. I'll see you guys back here next week. Have a good day. Have a good night. I'll see you guys back here in 7 days.